that America refused to give the Negro any land. Through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest.
Well, we're just going to continue to have a discussion and kind of like drill down on the 5 areas of harm and possibilities of what that final product, I should say, looks like as it relates to reparations. So just honing in on what that final product will be. So that's what the next 2 days is about, narrowing it down, being more specific, putting meat on the bones, so to speak. I'm just hoping we have a lively debate and discussion, not only from my colleagues on the Reparations Task Force, but from the community and public comment as well, because that's going to contribute to what we do over the next 3 months before this final report is due to the legislature and for the nation to see as well.
So reparations are overdue for all foundational Black Americans. Foundational Black Americans that were killed for nothing, babies taken away from mothers, fathers killed for protecting their families, and families broken up on purpose for a profit. Medical genocide, unjust laws, and just plain out brutality. Foundational Black Americans have helped every culture to get on their feet. Now it is Foundational Black Americans' turn to do the same for ourselves. Not just for my generation, but also for the elders that took the time and did the research and educated us and taught us our true history. Also, for the future generations to come that will lead us into the future with their heads held up high.
My name is Don Bassiano, and there's been several discussions surrounding eminent domain and the taking of land, property, and businesses from Black families. Many of these proceedings were initiated by the California Department of State Parks, Caltrans, the Attorney General, and other local and state entities under the false pretense of bettering the lives of Californians. We know some of the state and local entities that took property and land from Black families, far too many Black families to speak to individually here today. But what of the other organizations that assisted in taking wealth from Black families? Not only here, but throughout the United States, many organizations had a permeating influence in many Black communities, gaining trust, taking property, deeds, and securing others' wealth for their own. The local Sacramento chapter of the NAACP drafted a will and became the conservators of that will just a few weeks prior to the death of my great-grandfather, Pearlie Monroe, in 1963. While he lay dying in a nursing facility, the NAACP drafted Pearlie's will, taking $125,000 and approximately 150 acres of land, homes, a blacksmith shop, and orchards. And they later sold that property to the state of California and private white owners. Property and land valued at $7 million in today's market. Glad they didn't know he had land in Sacramento and Sparks, Nevada as well.